Man, y'all need to start tuning in to the YouTube channel, The Bengals Genius Show.
Hooday! Happy Sunday, Bengal Day. Gonna take on the Carolina Panthers and old friend Andy Dalton. The Red Dragon, the Red Rifle. He's not a Red Rocket, so how dare you blaspheme. But I always loved old Andy and felt bad how things ended. I'll never forget that game where he almost came back to save his job. Almost to say, screw you, everybody wanted Joe Burrow. That Dolphin comeback, that was always incredible. We kind of benched him on his birthday. Business is business, but the guy is a great guy. I love Andy Dalton, but not today. Going down, Andy. Sorry, pal. But overall, the guy has a 3-1 record. No, 2-1 record against us. I went back and looked at his stats. And the first game, it's hard to say. Different teams, different players, and all that stuff. And things are year to year. But Lou is Lou. And he is, he knows how to, he prepares in a certain way. Obviously, the Bengals defense struggles with rookies. Takes us a minute. So how did he do the first two games? Danny Dalton was 16-23, 9-11 the second game against the Bears, and then finally against the Saints a couple years ago, 17-32. So you can see where Lou adjusted. We tightened the grips on him a little bit, but the guy was lights out last week. I mean, he was really impressive. They got a lot of weapons, man. Chuba Hubbard, the running back, he is explosive. You saw the problems we had with all the quick screens last week. Deontay Johnson, Mingo, Xavier Leggett, wide receiver. So he's got a ton of weapons. He spreads the ball around. They have injuries, though, right now. Adam Thielen out, their guard, which, of course, our weakness right now is our defensive line because we will be without Sheldon Rankins again. B.J. Hill looks to be doubtful. Chris Jenkins, we need to have a huge impact. Their defense played so bad last week that I expect a little bit of a bump. I would also expect us to really play with desperation. Now, Carolina's desperate too. The owner's a wackadoo, Tepper. No one's a fan of that guy, but they have a home game. I mean, they're basically giving away the tickets last year for free. I mean, the place is empty. It really looks bad. So they want to win at home. It's a big game for them. They beat the Bengals. They're 2-2. We lose 0-4. I look back, and of course, who can forget the 1992 San Diego Chargers? We're 0-4 and still made it to the playoffs at 11-5. So, I mean, obviously, it's going to get harder and harder. We got to get the wins going, and this is the week to do it. The safety for the Carolina Panthers is out as well, Jordan Fuller. So that should help us with our passing game because our offense was humming last week, although they do have to execute better, and they have to do a better job of getting touchdowns instead of field goals. So I'd like to see an improvement around the goal line and the red zone. Get more touchdowns, less field goals. And McPherson missed a field goal. So if you think about it, we make one field goal, get the 2-point conversion where they held on to T. Higgins, and then at least it's a tie game by that rationale. But the defense, as we all know, beat that horse to death. So with our defensive line, can Chris Jenkins rally and shore it up? And hopefully that's all they can do. The whole defense can play better. I really feel like the communication is going to improve with the secondary as the season goes along, hopefully, and they just start making plays. So, and there was players were called out by Lou, Zach Carter specifically, basically saying, look, man, we drafted you high. We expect some production. So get with the program. So there's some guys that are really on the cusp of their career turning points at this moment. Joseph Asai is another guy that has to step up and answer the call. Miles Murphy is not back yet. That should be coming next week, but I'm excited to see that. Something was brought up this week, and I didn't even think about this, but it made a lot of sense when I really thought about it, was Joe Burrow huddled with Zach Taylor and Lou Anarumo after the game. They went right to a room and they were talking. And I can't imagine what was said, no idea. But it was brought up about Joe Burrow's leadership style. And I thought about this when he first got to Cincinnati in 2020. Of course, he had all the hoopla and everyone was hyped up about the guy. But as a rookie, it's kind of easy for you to just be like, all right, I'm just going to shut up, do my job, which seems to be the way Joe Burrow likes to go about his business. The guy's a stud, just does his work, and does a phenomenal job. But now, back in those days, they had Geno Atkins, A.J. Green, who both were very quiet guys. They weren't like the rah-rah, yelling, screaming leader kind of guys. Gio Bernard, I thought he was a great leader and all that. So he just kind of flew under the radar, laying it low. But now he's saying he's going to have to be a little more outspoken. So what does that mean? I'm not in the locker room, so I can only guess. If, not obvious stuff is like the preparation you have to do week in, week out. But maybe if he notices something from a young guy that they're doing incorrectly, whether it's a technique, a tell, or something like that, or they're just not taking care of the small little things that makes you a professional. Maybe he's going to bring that stuff up. Maybe guys aren't as focused. But that's where he's going to be more vocal. And I expect him to excel at that like he does at everything. So this is going to be a monstrous, gymongous game for the Bengals this week. What do I predict? Not that it matters. I think I've had the Bengals winning each week. So, of course, I'm saying the Bengals are going to win today. Now, as you know, I started a Patreon, and it's only $3 a month, but I'm going to try to give you inside info, what it's like, put the show together, and a little more, maybe a little more free-flowing with the tongue, if you know what I'm saying, a little more just talking like a regular guy talks, talking about cuss words. Just doing the show, building it, how to prepare, and this is where it gets good. I'm going to give you my parlay picks, so that's going to cost you. Now, the thing about this parlay picks system is I like to go big, or a lot of them, because I'm trying to hit big, right? Because I'm a broke guy. But what you can do is I can't guarantee anything, but it's very likely like 4 of these will hit. So I'm narrowing it down for you so you can check these list of 7, and 4 of them are going to hit. You pick 4, and it's very highly likely. But I'll give you a couple right now for today that I like. I like Hubba getting a touchdown, Chase getting a touchdown, and of course, the running back getting a touchdown. Which running back you're saying? Zach Moss. So Zach Moss got a touchdown. So that's it. You want more? You want the yards up and down all around? You're going to have to go to the Patreon for that. But everything else is free, baby. As always, let's go Bengals. Let's go. Can't wait till after this game. We're going to be fired up and win it one play at a time, one drive at a time. So expect the Bengals win today. Let's go with 31-21 on our way back to the season.
Run it up.
All right, Houday, I'll talk to you soon.
Man, y'all need to start tuning in to the YouTube channel, The Bengals Genius Show.